Okay. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. Okay. So, mm, I, okay. So, oh, what did I just do? Oh, goodness. Let me not touch anything. All right. Hi. Hi, Demetra, and anybody else, everybody else who want to click on this video. Um, so I haven't did a live in a while, so or a video basically in a while. So I've been holding things in and just absor, uh, absorbing, observing different things. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me just speak. Let me just, because it's a releasing thing when I come up on here and do these videos for myself, So I'm like, at least I'm like putting it out in the universe and putting it out in the atmosphere of things that I'm thinking, because once I free it from my body and my mind, it's like, that space, I got more space to think about more things, or, that's not like a good thing or bad thing, but new things come to me when I release some old things that's been, I'm gonna say old, but just things that's been, inside of me, you know. So, like bundled up and bottled up or whatever, like different things. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? It's a release. It's time for me to just. So let me think what I want to talk. Okay, well, right now I'm watching. Um, what is this? Flavor of Love. It's on TV. I'm not, on and off. I'm just like looking at it, and it's like the first season. Of course, this is old. Anybody that's seen Flavor of Love with Flavor Flav, I think this is the first season because I see, or this might be the second season. I don't know which season is this, but on here is what's her name? Delicious is Boots is let me see, they show their names again. I think Buck Wow. But anyways, it's yeah, it's the one with Delicious on here, so I don't know what season that is. But anyways, so when I was just watching this, and I'm just like, Mayu is like, early 2000s. I think don't even get me talking about what year it came out. But I'm just like, as far as reality show, quote unquote reality shows, it's like everything is so like freaking fake when they say reality, because I mean it's like no. I'm like, by now, this is what year is this? 2023. I'm like, come on now, y'all still calling these things reality shows? Like, really? Like, who acts like that? And I'm like, oh. But getting back to like these kind of shows, like the reality shows, like when it comes to dating, okay, like that's something that I'm just like, me personally. me personally, I would not be competing with anybody, let alone a guy, like competing for a guy. Like, no. People be like, well, you can probably compete for different positions and different this, and but I'm like, no, I'm just gonna be myself, far as that go. But when it comes to like relationships, like I couldn't be on none of these reality shows or just in general just competing for someone to pick me out of all these other people that's different shapes, sizes, colors. Like, no, I just couldn't do that. Because I'm like, listen, dude, if I like you, like, I'll tell the dude, like, look, I'm feeling you, I'm liking you, and I'm like, hey, let's see where this go, whatever, whatever. And if the dude straight up and tell me, like, well, hey, yeah, I like you too, but I got like 10, 15 other girls who like me as well. And, I want to see about them, whatever. And then if they don't work out, then, yeah, I'll come holler at you. I'll be like, shoot, deuces, bye. I'm like, I ain't gonna be no freaking option. Like, I'm telling you, I'm liking you. And I wouldn't even be tripping because I'm like, you ain't the only guy up in this world. Like, you don't want to be with me? That's cool. Like, that means me and you weren't meant to be together. You meant to be with somebody else. I'm meant to be with somebody else. Man ain't gonna be competing, doing all this stuff, going against other females for the same guy, and then seeing the guy rubbing all up on this female right next to me or in my face, and we competing for dates to go out with this guy. Like, I'm like, dude, do you really even love me or want me? Because I'm like, if you really did, you wouldn't even be having me competing for you. Like, you'll be like, competition ended, whatever, whatever. You already want her. Like, I don't want to be around no other female. But anyway, so I'm just looking at this and I'm like, but it still shows on to this day. I think The Bachelorette and The Bachelor, I think they still come on. I think, I don't be watching them shows, but it's the same thing. Like, and people be like, "Oh, I love you. I fell in love with you." I mean, I don't know how long the shows is taped. How many months or weeks or whatever. And I'm not saying you can't fall in love with somebody in them weeks or months, but I'm like, is it real love when you competing for this person? How can you love somebody or say I'm in love with you? My life changed just being here, spending time with you, and I really do love you, and yada yada. I'd be looking at the person like, okay, cool, but I probably don't love you because if I did, why would I once you get up, why would I have another female sitting in your same spot telling me the same thing or me entertaining other females? Like, why would you even say you love me when you clearly see that I don't love you how you love me? Because if I did, shoot. So, but yeah, so that's just my whole take on that, on the reality shows and as far as the dating go. So yeah, let's see what else. What else? That was just, I don't know. I ain't gonna say a side note because if I meant to say it, I meant to say it. Um, Let me see. I haven't been hearing my own voice in a while. Everything been like, a few statements here and there, but like I really haven't been talking out loud. So yeah, gotta warm up my voice. So what else I want to talk about? Well, what else was coming to my mind? Like, oh my goodness, like for the past couple of weeks, I've been doing random things like, of course like cleaning up, washing dishes, cooking, showering, going to the store, just whatever. And then like different things would just pop in my mind and I'm like, ooh, like why am I thinking about that? So One of the things that popped in my mind, I forgot what I was doing, but what popped in my mind was when I was in kindergarten. Okay. It was a story when I was in kindergarten, and let me see which one I want to say first. Okay, well, I ain't gonna say I stole, but I took this girl bookmark. And so that came to my mind. That story, that incident came to my mind, I'm gonna say maybe like last week or so. And it came back up like a couple of days ago. But I'm like, so I can't remember the girl name or whatever, but I'm like, I don't know, we must be near each other or just something, this story might be significant to somebody. I don't know. But I ain't gonna say I want to apologize because I don't want to apologize. I do not want to apologize for what I did in kindergarten with this girl bookmark because she deserved it. Like, I can't even remember what she did to me, but I know she did something bad to me or to somebody else that it was just like, no, she was like even been a bully to me or to somebody else. So basically, we're in kindergarten, we coming back from, I don't know where we coming back from. Um, I don't know, the cafeteria or PE or no, I don't think we had PE in kindergarten. We just went outside for recess in the back, but we was coming from somewhere. Okay, so during this time we had like a scholastic book fair, and I wanted a couple of things, they give us the little flyer or pamphlet, or what you call it, a newsletter. What did you call it? A sales ad, but not a sales ad. But whatever that, the paper that they give us that we take home a couple of days before, and you show your parents and this and that, and be like, hey, I want this, I want that. So, anyways, of course, that's what I did with my mom. Like, hey, mom, hey, dad, I want this, I want that. No, you ain't getting this book and this. I'm just like, okay, whatever. So I didn't end up getting anything, that time from the um when they came, when the Scholastics came, the company came or whatever. I didn't get anything, but hey, whatever. But this girl, she got a bookmark, and you know, she had a bookmark. I can't remember the girl name. Just say Amy. I don't think that was her name, but I'm gonna just say Amy, just for to say it. So Amy got a bookmark, and we was coming in, and she had the bookmark for a couple of days. Like say the classics people done left or whatever, I don't know. But the class was coming back in, just say from the cafeteria from lunch, and her desk was like, you walk in the classroom, and then like her desk was like one of the front desks when you walk into the classroom. So you take a couple of feet, and her desk and like other desks, it was like four desks all connected to make a square. So it was like you how can I explain it? Like you sitting across from somebody, so it's like four desks together, or sometimes it could be six. And then if it's an odd number, then the four will be facing each other, and then there'll be one, facing, all the four of them. Hopefully I'm explaining that right. But anyways, her desk was like one of the desks where you come in the classroom. My desk was like all the way off to the side. And when you come in the classroom, the door on the wall is our cubbies. You can hang up our coats, our lunch packs, our book bags, our jackets, on the hooks. And then there was like little like slots as well. So how can okay. So basically she done did something. Like I said, I can't exactly remember what this girl Amy did, but say she stepped on the back of my shoe, or she called me ugly, or she did something to me or to somebody that was not nice. So when we came back in, I grabbed her bookmark on the slide, making sure nobody see me. Grabbed the bookmark on the slide, and then I just, walking past all the coats and book bags and stuff, and I just slid it underneath a section of the book bag or coat, a random book bag, coat, jacket, and I went to my desk. So it was like, ooh, I see this bookmark. Let me take it from her, take it from a book. Mind you, we walking in the classroom, and I probably was like one of the first a couple of people walking in the classroom. to get put underneath something. Sat down at my desk, everybody getting their stuff together, sitting down. So then I'm seeing her looking for it, like moving things around. And basically, of course, she couldn't find it because it wasn't there on her desk because I took it. So, of course, she told the teacher, and teacher was asking everybody who, have anybody seen the bookmark, yada, 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 this and that. And people, they even had us looking around. We had two teachers. One main teacher was Miss Marshall. Oh, Miss Marshall. Miss Marshall, she looked like the mom, Claire Huxtable. She looked like Claire Huxtable off of the Cosby Show. That's how Miss Marshall looked. I don't know her first name, but Miss Marshall, Bradbury Heights, kindergarten. Yeah, uh, yeah, she was a nice teacher. Um, so, and Mr. Duncan, let me give him a shout out to Mr. Duncan. He was my sixth grade teacher at Bradbury Heights. So, Mr. Duncan, my sixth grade teacher, and Miss Marshall, my kindergarten teacher. I'm gonna shout y'all out. But anyways, excuse me. But anyways, so the girl, she told the teacher, "Hey, I can't find my bookmark," yada yada yada. So everybody ended up looking. Like I said, it was I think a teacher's aide and then a teacher. So they asking everybody, they like saying everybody empty your desk, put everything that you have in your desk up top. So everybody doing that or whatever. So it was like time to go play. And who knows, it probably was raining or something, or they just kept us inside because they was trying to find a bookmark. So in a classroom, we have a play section off to the side, toys and stuff like that. So the teacher was, going around to everybody. No, what they was checking everybody's stuff. So like they would tell one by one or two by two to be like, okay, you can go and play such and such. You can go and play, and they come around, check our stuff on our top of our desks. Okay, flip through things. Okay, you can put it back inside. You can go and play. Stuff like that. So finally they said I can go and play. And then by this time they was going through, they was over there by the cubby stuff, the jackets and the book bags and the whatever lunch boxes and stuff like that. So they like, well, we're going to check y'all stuff, because this bookmark didn't just disappear. So I'm like, well, I'm good because they're going to find it, regardless of wherever it's going to be, they're going to find it. So, what about to say? So they going through, people's stuff, and they was like, yeah, okay, Demetria, you can go play. So I'm playing with, my other classmates. Well, actually, I was playing by myself, but my classmates and stuff, the ones that were free to go and play in the back of the classroom, we all playing. So I happened to look up, and I'm just like, you know, they getting close to the end of the jackets and stuff. And I'm like, where my jacket and stuff at? So I'm like, oh, and I'm like, well, where did I place it at? So I'm looking, keep looking back, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I think I actually, I think I actually slid it underneath some of my stuff. And I'm like, oh my goodness, duh, I did not mean to do that, But sure enough, it was like right near underneath my stuff and somebody else's stuff. So, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get in trouble. So I'm in my head like I'm gonna get in trouble. But no one got in trouble, they found the bookmark. And of course, me being nice, shy, and quiet, they didn't, suspect me. They like, well, and I hear the teachers talking, they was just like, well, Demetria wouldn't do it. And then, they looked at the person stuff who was next to mine. They was like, well, why would such and such do it? So they was just like, well, somebody probably did it, then just stuck it, underneath of here, whatever. So that was the case. So I'm like, good. But man, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm got to get in trouble. That was in my head, but I ain't get in trouble. So I don't know where that story came up in my head, but all I know is when that girl was like, oh my god, like panicking and like so worried, and I was just in my mind like, good, like that's what your butt get, for doing whatever you did. Like I said, she had to have did something bad or mean. But once I looked back and they was getting close to my stuff, I was like, oh shoot. But so she got a bookmark back. So I'm trying to think like what was there a lesson learned from that? Because I'm like, why am I thinking about that? Okay, scholastics, a bookmark. Okay, so something about books, something about a mark or marks. School. Um, I don't know. But and then another story in kindergarten, I kind of did the same thing. This was the next time they had the scholastics fair. So I think they come like maybe twice a school year or something back in the day. So I took somebody else's stuff. Now this boy, I remember his name. His name was Daryl. So Daryl, this guy I do want to apologize to because yeah, what I did, I just straight up like just took that thing. And I don't even think he did anything bad to me. I don't think he did. I just wanted what he had. Oh my goodness. What he had was like a small poster board that came with like a couple of markers that you can color the picture that's on the poster board, and it was race cars. And when I was younger, I wanted to be a race car driver, a taxi cab driver, a firefighter. Um, I think that was it. Yeah, mainly a taxi cab driver though. But yeah, the racing the cars, yeah, I was into that. So yeah. And so basically when the fly came out, I'm like, ooh, I want that. And of course my mom was like, no, no, you don't need that. We ain't give you no money to get that, yada yada yada. Fine, cool, whatever. So sure enough, he was the only person in the class who ended up getting it. So I'm just like, so he was showing everybody like, ooh, of course, you come back from the Scholastic Fair, everybody like, ooh, what do you get? What do you get? What do you get? So people showing whatever that they got. If they purchase something, like, yeah, I got this, I got that, got this book, this and that. Mind you, we kindergartners, we 5, 6 years old. So my mom had for my book bag. I ain't had like no backpack book bag. I had one of them like you know how you go to the grocery store and they have like the reusable bags. It's like, hey, you know, bring your own bag, and it's like a plastic kind. But this kind that she gave me, it was a cloth kind. So it was like a cloth like tote, kind of thing. So she ain't even gave me no book bag. It was like one of them. So a big rectangle square, thing. So and it was pink. So anyways, and it fit the poster thing fit inside. So of course, the day coming and it's like that at the end of the school day, and then so why I don't know how I took it, but I know I ended up taking it and then putting it inside my pink tote bag. And so so we all sitting down before we leave. Everybody sit down on the carpet, and then like the announcer would call everybody who ride the school buses. So of course, by this time he noticed that his poster, was gone. His coloring poster was gone. So he told the teacher. So the teacher was like, "Okay, I got to check everybody book bags before they walk out this door. This and that." So she checked all the walkers first, like, I mean, not the walkers, the school bus riders, because they was going to be getting called to leave. So, she told, hey, who rides the blue bus, come up here and, stand in line. So her and his teacher's aide checked everybody's, book bag and stuff before they left. So the bus riders left. So now it's, at the end of the day, and we normally line up, in front of the door when the bell rings so we can go outside or whatever and wait for whatever to walk home, wait for whoever to come and just walk us home, or we walk home, whatever. So I'm sitting down on the carpet, and how can I say this? like they was checking everybody's stuff before we can stand in line. So once your bags has been checked, you can go stand in line, wait to leave out. Basically, I just stood in line. I'm like, shoot, ain't nobody checking. I just got my little self up and then I stood in line and was like, shoot, let me just keep my head down or just, blend in and so nobody will notice, hey, Demetra just got up and she ain't even get her bag checked. Like, ain't nobody was paying attention to me. I mean, that I know of because nobody said anything. So sure enough, I stood in line and, people got behind me and, so time to go, bell rung, we walked outside. Nobody said anything. So I'm like waiting for my older sister, because we walk home together. So I'm waiting for my older sister to come and because we standing outside or whatever. So my older sister come, Letitia, she know who my sister is, Miss Marshall. She's like, okay, see you tomorrow, like see you or whatever. If it's a Friday, see you Monday, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I made it outside. Let me hurry up and I was like, I think I was speed walking home that day. I'm like, come on, Lily, come on, come on. We got to like walk home faster. Like, once I got inside, at home, I was just like, oh my goodness, I made it. Like, oh my goodness, I made it. So, once we got inside, I showed my sister, like, look what I got. My sister was like, ooh, where you get this from? Mommy gave you some money to get this? And I'm like, no, it was a gift. I made up some stuff. Like, somebody gave it to me, I ain't say I took it from my classmate. I was just like, somebody gave it to me. So she was like, oh, okay, wow. But she wasn't into, like, the design. Like, mine, it was, like, cars. I think it was probably, like, 3 pictures like of cars, like post sheets, you flip one over or like tear the top off and then there's another one that you can color. And like I said, they gave you like 4, maybe 5 colors, like little markers to color them in that came with it. So, I was excited. I was just like, yay. But sure enough, the so, I was coloring it and stuff like that or whatever. But then I think a couple of hours later that some of the markers started running low, like and I was just in my mind like, well shoot, what are the odds? Like of course this will happen because I done took something that wasn't mine. So I do apologize for that because that dude he ain't, but um what happened? I think the Scholastic book, so this probably was like in the midweek or whatever, because the Scholastic books was still there, I think, the next day. But all I know is that Tisha ended up getting him another one. So Tisha was like, okay, here you go. We got you another one we couldn't find, where yours was at, but here you go. So he ended up getting a whole new one. So I was like, all right, cool. But so Daryl, I can't remember your last name. I want to say Green, but that's like, well, who knows? It could be him. I don't know. But I know his name was Daryl. So, hey, if you want a real race car, hey, you got it. Like, shoot. But, so yeah, so I was just thinking about them and I'm like, something going on in kindergarten? Like, people stealing kids, taking things, like, what's going on? Like, why am I thinking about my kindergarten days? What else? Let me see. Okay, what else I want to talk about? I wrote some stuff down. Let me see. Come on, Demetra. You got to release. But like I said, I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about, but I know I need to talk about something. Excuse me. I know I need to talk about something. Um. Oh yeah, this I wrote something down too about time. Okay. Um. I noticed this like a couple of days ago. my son, he was taking out the trash. So this particular day, he's like, "Mommy, I always wash him through the balcony window, just to wash him and stuff like that." And he's like, "Yeah, wash me anyway." So I'm like, "Okay, make sure you look both ways." But anyways, this particular day, he was like, "Can you count? Can you count and see how fast it takes me to you know, go to the trash can and then come back?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." So he closed the door and I'm like, one, two. I'm counting like this, okay? I'm counting like this. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. I'm counting like that. So I don't know, just say it took him like 30 seconds or so. Just say that. So that's the tempo, the speed that I was counting at. So I told him, yeah, it took you 30 seconds or whatever. He was like, all right, cool. So a couple of days later, I got to thinking like it's supposed to be seconds. So I'm like, why shouldn't seconds be, how can I say this? Like, it shouldn't be a pause. Like, shouldn't it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, because it's seconds. So then I got to thinking, like, you know what? I know races when people like and they competing against something or they racing, and then they have like I guess the Miller second. So they got the second clock, then they got the Miller second, milliliter second, the Miller second. I don't know what it is, but they broke. My main thing is they broke the seconds down. Like how? Like come on now, why are y'all breaking seconds down? Like can seconds have its seconds? Can seconds have its time? I'm like, but me, I already know what it is because I know people be trying to divide unions and stuff like that, and I'm like, time, time, is in my name, and I'm just like, people trying to break that down. Like, no, if that's the case, like the second should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's how the second should be. It shouldn't be no Miller second. Like, come on now. Seconds is seconds. Like, how you gonna break a second down? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'll probably be saying it wrong or trying to explain it wrong, but it's like when you count, or even when you blast off, you count backwards 10, 9, 8, New Year's Eve, 10, 9, 8, 7. Those are seconds, okay? We counting the seconds. And I'm like, why are we not counting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? I'm probably even faster than that because, time is like, I don't know, but that was just something that I was just thinking about. Like, what is really seconds? Like, do y'all even know what seconds is? I know Zulu time, but seconds, like, mm and I guess everybody be counting differently too. And we posted, and then when people was like, yeah, this, I can't even explain it. But what I do know is, um, all these clocks in my house is running on the same time after I done set them like 2 minutes prior than my phone. Like, I've said this before. Like say I set say my phone say like right now it's 10:22. So on the microwave or on the BGE box I would put like 10:24, 10:25. That's the time I would put, if I'm resetting it. So I would do that, and then I noticed like a month later, everything is lined up with the time on my phone, and I'm like, didn't I just set this up for like 2 or 3 minutes earlier? Why is it matching up with the same time on my phone? So I'm like, yeah, I'm setting the time. I'm setting the time. So I'm like, if I set I'm like, what is it? The time just pause Did it slow down? Did it catch up? Did it speed up? Did everything just freeze? So I'm working on that, like, but I know something happened. I know something happened. There's been plenty of times when I was younger, or not even younger, I'm gonna just say throughout the years, when I'd be at school or be at work, and then it's like I look at the circle clock on the wall, like the circle clock on the wall in the classroom, or inside the building, and I be looking at the seconds, and they got the minute hand, the hour hand, and the second hand. So, and this happened every so often, okay? So I'm looking, how you like at the end of the school day or just at the school day, and you just like, man, damn, what time is it? Like, how much longer we got to be in this class or whatever, or goodness. So I look at the clock. So I see, the second hand supposed to just keep going, it's just supposed to keep going around and around and around the second hand, not the minute or the hour hand. That takes some time, but the second hand is constantly moving. So I will look at the second hand and stare at it. I kid you not, that sucker don't be moving. Like I would look at it and it be moving, and then once I just keep looking at it, that sucker just pause. It don't even go nowhere, and I'm like, what the heck? And I see it just stuck, and I'm just like, oh goodness, the clock done broke. At first that's what I'm thinking, like, great, the clock broke just when I'm looking at it, like, okay, whatever. So then, I just look down and, do whatever, continue doing my work or whatever. And then I look back up, I don't know how many minutes later, and then the second hand is moving again. And I'm like, oh, sure, I thought it was broken. But whatever. So I really didn't pay too much attention to it. But throughout the years, when I started really noticing, like every so often, not every time when I look at the circle clock, but every so often, more, plenty of times though, but every so often, when I would look at, the seconds on one of them circle clocks, like the seconds would stop. It would like pause. So I know for a fact that time be pausing, time be stopping. Like it's a chip, it's a battery, it's something, or it's me that's just like, okay, pause for a second, let's just chill. Or I'm staring at the seconds, like, and the seconds is like, wait a minute, she's staring at me. Seconds is like, the second hand is like, wait a minute, she's staring at me. I'm frozen. Like, what do I do? She making me nervous. And so when I turn my head, that's when the seconds went, okay, oh, I'm good. So it's cool seconds, it's cool seconds, but I don't like how they try to break us down, divide us, like talking about millisecond. Like, what? What? Millisecond, do that whole second. I gotta break down no daggone seconds. Like, come on now. What else? What else? Okay. I'm trying to think. Do I want to get deep and personal, or do I just want to? I don't know. I know I am. I know when one of these videos allows, I know I'm gonna get deep and personal about something, or just something that's like really, I don't know. Mm, But I know something that I was thinking about. What I wrote down? What did I write down? um. Okay, yeah. I guess I'll just talk about. Well, no, this live is almost 40 minutes. I'll probably do a video or do another live a little bit later because I ain't trying to have these lives too long. But all right, that's it for now. All right.